Hi, it's Squeakross. This is a Picross with two other pieces to the game that are a lot of fun. So, we got our little mouse buddy, that's Sly. And the way this game works is that we've given Sly a house. Here's Sly's room. And Sly has this, we got this room. We get to add little bits to it. We have all sorts of odds and ends. Let's add a photo. Is that just... oh, that's a table photo. Okay. Rotate you. So, we have the... We can place things. We got a toaster and all sorts of things to add to Sly's house. But you might ask... what, how do we get new things? Well, if we want new things, we go to the catalog. And the catalog is where all the goodies live. And if I want to order a table, well, it's time to do a Picross. So, if you haven't done a Picross before coming in these are grid-based puzzles where the rows and columns tell you how many dots are filled in sequence. So this this row here has a group of 4 and a group of 4 somewhere. Obviously, what I just did, but we're gonna solve that by pieces that we can glean out, and then keep expanding that. To start, for instance, we have this 10 here, so 10 has to be 10 long or 10 long. Those are the only, those lines are the maximum left and right, which means these 5 are always here. The same is true on the 8 here, 8 here, we have an overlap. 9 here, 9 here, we have an overlap. We'll do the same on this, and then build out from there. For instance, this has a 7, and it's the first number, so we know that it's 7 here, and we already have the 1, so that line is finished. This 7 is here. We don't know that this is here, but we can, because we know this is part of the 7. It's either this or this, so we're going to fill that way. Same with this. We know this is 3 or 3. These 2 are on both. We'll fill that. And we keep extending from there. What else can we glean from the board right now? We know that it's 2 and 7. So we know that here we've got 7 or 7. Overlap there. What that gives us is in here we know that this is a 2, 1, 2, and they're connected. So we know that that's clean. So there's a couple settings for turning on and off different hints, turning on line completion. So if I turn off this colored hint here, if I do this and resume, it tells me that these here are the places that we can glean something from, right? So that hint here tells us oh, here's where your information you might want to focus. There's also the other hint system that shows if I do this has a 3 in it. There's no way it's legal. You should fix that. You can turn both of those off if you like. Anyway, we know that this 1 is here. And this is the bottom, so that's that. We have 7. We know that this 2 and 8 are here. So we've got 1, 3, 5, 6, 8. And then... So it has to be... if we assume this is the end of the 2, this would be the farthest 8 that it could be. So these have to be in it, no matter what. That 9 being there fills this out because we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like so. This 2, you know, we can start building out like that. Yeah. Oh, you were talking about the rat call. So, like, yeah, so, like, if I, let's go ahead and highlight any mistakes. So, you have different levels of, like a little dizzy slide. So, bits like that. What else can we work with? We know this is one of our 2s, this is one of our 2s. We know this is a 2. We know these are 2s no matter what because of the way that these this has a 4 in it, but like if we did this where it was like 1, you know, 1, 2, 1, 2, that could be the 4 there. So we can't know that this is a 2. Same with this. This could be a 5 here, so that doesn't fill that. This could have the 4 on that side. Bits like that, where we already have learned that those pieces of information. The next thing we can work on, now that we know these 2s, this is actually a really big spot we get to open up. We have the 7 and the 7. Yeah, this like measuring tape is really nice for this. Here we also know these are 2s because these have to be 2s. That's what the bits are, so we have those closed off. It doesn't tell us if it's left 2 or right 2 because it could be over here, it could be over here. But no, we also know this is 2 and 2. This can't be filled because there's no way to make 2, which with the 9 we know is the rest. So that gives us a ton of extra locations here. 1 and 3, this is our 1, our 3's up here, so this is clean. 2s, this is clean, so this is the 7, that row's cleaned up. Where else can we start looking? The 8 here, we know that it's 1 contiguous, so this is our 8. This means that we have a 2 here and a 2 over here, so this is filled, these have to be it, and the ones over here have to be filled. Next thing we learned there, we have this floating point from this 8. And then, because we have the 1 on the wall, we know the rest is the 8, and this is filled out. Also, these are all 2s. This can't be filled. So we have, what do we have here? We have 8. So we can go 7, 7. These are overlapping. Next, we can take the left wall. Walls are a really good place to start on a Picross if you get numbers, because this 10, if it's on the wall, it's just this. It's just the whole zoop. It's just that 10. Same with this. This 4 has to be coming off here. This 2 is finished here. This 4 is coming off here. This 2 is here. This 2 is here. We don't know enough about this one because it could be either here or here, so we can't take that. But if we can solve for that, because up top we have a 3 and a 1. Here's our 1. 1, 2, 3. That means this is clean, and this has to be the 2. That finishes up to here, so we have the 7. We have an 8 against a wall, so we can just go ahead and fill out all the way 8. And that. We now have the top here. 2, 2, 3. This 3 is coming off of a wall, so we can go 1, 2, 3, clean it. Where else can we go from here? We know that this is a 1, or a 2, then a 1, so this is finished. This is a 2, then a 2. This is a 2 here, we're going down, so that's cleaned up, and then this row is finished. Again, here, we know that this is a 2, finished there. This is a 2, it goes out 1, and then finishes. That means the 8 and 7 have to be going down here. 8, 7. that'll clear that row. We can kind of, and then we can just keep going from this side. We know we got a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We know we got a 5, 1, 2, 3, 5. We know that this is a 2, so these are illegal. We know that this is 3 and 1, 3 and 1. This is the 3. These are the 1, so all down here is clean. What else do we have? Because this is a 3 on a wall, 1, 2, 3, and that's clear. We know that this one is a 2. That cleans up that row. We also have our 2 and 5 and 4 and 4. That cleans up the tops. Then we can kind of like staircase down this way where we're going to get this 1, 2, 3. And then 2. And then 2. And then 2. And that staircase is down that way. 4 plus 4, 8. And then we're finishing off the last of these. We've got 2 here. 2 in this row. Boom. And then the rest is 2s here. So we get a table for the house. Basic table. And every 5 gets you new stickers. Hell yeah. So every 5 you unlock cool stickers. And the stickers, if we go back to main menu, you get a bunch of cool stickers for main menu. Stickers. So you've got the main menu, you've got puzzle zone, and you got the loading screen, and you can just sort of add friends wherever you want. Tiny. Yeah. We've got a nice choice of flags and stickers as well, which is excellent. Rotate this, yeah. These go. So these bits here show like the game elements. Anything, those go on top. So I just love, like, we get more things to customize our board with. It's cute. We got our trans flag, we got our pride flags, we got all sorts of excellent flags to add. We also have we can give slide goodies. I only have a couple so far, like a little seed. And change the color. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, so this here, on the scarf, I can change the color on it, and like, so with the scarf change, you might ask, well, how do I get that? Let's go ahead and if we go into the catalog, there's the normal order catalog to order, like, yeah, we can order a bow tie. But if we tab over, you can go to the bonus catalog. And the bonus catalog is the same as the normal catalog. See, we got clock, book, scarf, bed, pot. But once you complete the hard puzzle on the bonus catalog, then you get color changing on the object. So, like, let's go back to the, we have Apple Hat. Let's unlock Hard Apple Hat. That'll let us color change. So we got a harder puzzle to start. First thing I look for is any numbers above half, because 15. 15. If we have 9, we can go 9 right here, and 9. These 3 overlap. Same here, 3 overlap. With this 5 and 8, 5 and then 8 or 8 means these are live. Same with this 5. If this was the 8, it would be 8 or 8 or 5 or 5. So we can do bits like that for pieces. You also have combinations that add up to high numbers that are close to finishing. Like if we take 2, 2, and then 8, 8. So this is going to overlap like this. Same like this, where 8 on this side would be like this. 8 on this side would be like this. So we get extra information. The 2 and 7 are going to be the same here, where we got 7, 7. I'm marking off where the 2 and the 3 would be on the farthest left, and then filling in what the overlap is. So here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got 7. We've got 6 and 6, which means these 5, not that one, have to be filled in. Similarly, 2, 6 leaves us 5, so these middle 3 must be filled in. And that starts to give us a shape to work with. Next pieces we can look at, we have this 4 as our top number, so that means 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. These two are involved. That makes me look at this 8 and 3. We are a 3, and then we have a 11, so we go 8, 8. These are all part, plus this one that we had from the 4. This is 9, so if this is 8 the whole way over, this one can't be used in it, which is very useful information, because this is 5. We can't use the top left 3. There, 5 can't fit in there. This lets us extend out some of our information a little more. For instance, this 9, now if it's all the way left, must be, include this. And if it's all the way from here, it can't include this. We could do the same thing with the 5. If you want to mention things, I guess if I'm not actively going over things, it's definitely fine to mention while we're going over this. I'm mostly trying to talk out my thought process. So if you see something that I'm missing on this, that's great. Another bit we can look at here. You see like this here. You might, it's like, oh, could this be the 1? It can't, because right here, if we're against this wall, that's 8. The 1 would have to be above that. So these have to link up. That then leaves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So those are both legal. No extra information gained there. But with that here, we've gained 1, 2, 3. This one is now a legal spot as well. Again, starting to just form a picture. This middle row here, we've got this starting here. Even if this is 3, they can't reach here. So these must be part of the 8. So again, they're connected. That solves the 7, because this is our 7. So we block that off. Bonking here, now that we have that, oh look, we have the 3 over here. Okay, that's closed off. That gives us the first of the 5. Moving here, 5 and 5. These aren't part of it. What else can we glean there? With this, we have a 3 as our first one, right? And this is part of that, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. We don't have this top piece. We know that's not filled, because the 3 can't reach that. And again, because of the 5, all of these are open, or are filled. Now that finally gives us enough room to give us information on the top. We know that this square must be in there, and then we can extend out. We have 1, 2, 3, boom. That's great. So we know that's closed. Oh, look, that has a wall. We can go to 8 here. That's closed. We know that over here we've got 5, so 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 for the 3. I'm kind of going really quick on the logic on these, but I hope it's at least followable. If you ever are like, wait, what are you talking about? Let me know. Starting up here is actually some interesting information. We see that we're starting on some 2s. Right here, they have ones against them because this 8 we just filled. So this 2 could not fill this. You can see it's illegal because that would make a 3. So we know the 2 has to go up, and that's closed. That also fills in here. We know 1, 2, 3, 4 at least. And then 5, close these off. Same applies to this row here. This must be our 2. Then we can fill the next row because we're up against a wall. We've got a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a 2. Close those. Oh, look, we've got another closed. 5. This could have been a starting point, actually, on this one, the 2, 4, 5, 1, because there's only one way that this can fit in 15. Because that's 10, 12, 13 for the hole, 14 for the hole, 15 for the hole. This only has one legal place. So if you wanted to start with this, that would give you a great, a whole line to start off of. Next up, let's take a look at this. We have a 3, and 3 is our starting here, meaning that everything to the left is filled in. That's great. That gives us some more information for the starting bits up top. For instance, we know that this starts with a 1. Here's our 1. Let's close that. We know this starts with a 2. That's a 2. We close that. We know this starts with a 3. Got a 3. Close that. And now we have the more information. We know that we come from this wall, so we can just go 1, 9, close. We know that we're up to 4 here, 4, and we know we have the 5. We can close. Now we can keep moving with, like, extending from our knowledge we have. Let's close off the rest of this line. 3 from the top there. 1, 2, 3. Close it. 5. Close it. And then kind of keep working on this. What else have we gained? With this closure, this 2 is locked. So we know that that's 2. With this pip here, 5, 5. These are not legal. The more we get that are illegal on this, the better it is to get this 7. Because, like, right now, all we know is this and this. We can fill this in because we know must be contained. And we also know this can't be it. What else does that give us? Well, we have these 4 we filled in on the 9 earlier. And so if we fill in 9 all the way this way, these 2 are always going to be part of it. So we can fill those. Same up here. We go 9 this way. This square will always be a part of it. So we can fill that one in. Because it's either this or this. You kind of like quantum lock it. Alright, what else do we have? Down here at the bottom, 4 and 3. I'm very scatterbrained. I just sort of go when I'm doing these. We see this against a wall, and we know that our first one's 4. That one just fills 4. What does that get us? Well, this column here has an 8. We can fill that right on in. We know that this is 7 or 7. This square is out. We know that this goes 3, 1, 5, meaning this 1 here is our 1. And down here, this 5 covers these. Additional new information gained there. This 6 can't be in this square. It could be here or here, but it can't touch this. The more we fill there, this 5 is getting filled in. 5 here. 5 here. Oh, look, that finishes the 2. That gets us more locked in there. That's great. Let's look at our top down here. 2. 3 off this. And we don't know which one the 2 is here, but we do know that it's a 2. So we block that. What else do we have? Ooh, these walls, now that we've just done this here, are very meaningful for the 1, 8, 7, because we know this must be part of the 8 and 7 up against a wall, so the only way they can fit, 8, 7, close them off, and we know that this is a 1, close that off, this is part of a 5, close that, and we can fill in the rest of this 5 like so. Moving at the ones we just filled. In my mind, the way I like to do the logic on these is just like whatever you just added is likely to keep going, right? like, whatever you just added is likely to give you more information. So we just added these two. Well, let's look at the row. Oh, look, this 3 is finished. And oh, look, we know this 4. So we can finish this off. And now, with this new one we just added, we know that it must be a 2 from right here. Great. That finishes this. That tells us this 4 is finished. Clear that. Look at our up and down here. Yeah, this is clean, so we can clean that whole thing up. What does that give us? Well, down here, we just put a wall up against this. It's our 6. Clean that. Excellent. That cleans that up. What did that give us? Well, the vertical on column 3 is done. That's clear. We also have the 8 that we added here. Must just be 8 up from this. Clean that. That cleans up this column as well. And we can see some of the columns that finished from that. This one finishing gives us the 5. So boom, that's done. So we've got that column, that column. We also have 3, 1, 4 finished here. Clean that up. So yeah, it all snowballs. That's how this ends up going. If we take a look at our new snowball here, let's take a look at this 4, 5, 1. We know that we have the 4 that's finished, the 5 that's finished. Finishing that gave us the rest of this, because we know this is 2, and there's only one place left for the last 2 right here. Filling that in gives us 3, then a 2 here. Boom, that's clean. Close that, and then a 2. This was another one we could have started on. 3, 2, 5, 2. You can fill in a column like this if the numbers add up to be, if the numbers plus the gaps add up to the length. So this is 3, 5, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 on this. I can't. Hold on. My cursor isn't visible in this. That actually could be useful for a little bit more. Also, the cursor's cute. You're able to see where I'm looking at because of the square, so I haven't been felt bad about that. But up here, 3, 5, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, where else can we go? Well, we know the 5 on the left-hand side fills in over here. That also gives us these couple rows. We know the 2. We know the 2. Okay, that's great. What else can we glean from information that we have around? Well, let's take a look at our middle bits here. We have this 8. We can fill in from here. 8. 8. We know this is a 7 contiguous, which means these are off because this is 6, so 7 or 7. The 5 here is still an unknown, but how can we solve it? Take a look at our numbers here. We have 2 followed by a 1. We already have the 1. That's closed. That's the 5. That closes that. That closes this row as well. Cascading here to give us 2, 2. And then that closes this off as well. You see 4, 5, 1 done here. The 1 finishing there gives us this 3. We can close. And then from here, we can get this 2. Close off that entirely. Then we have... Now we're at stragglers. So... We know this 8. That 8 gives us the 5. The 5 gives us this 7. The 7 gives us this 2. This 2 gives us this 2. This 1 gives us this. And then we've got the last bit. And now we've unlocked apple hat color. Try it. So let's go back to the house. And we got a bunch of mail. So in here we've got game tips. These are from Nini, the manager, who gave us the house. We have our We've got the, look at this. Return of the mouse scroll. You may have noticed your room has a door. We haven't finished the building. Soon. You can save presets. You can turn off, you know, setting changes, and then drink hot chocolate, couple rounds in the wooden wheel, stretch your paws. We also have the Ratway Sanctuary. These are so cute. Rats experience empathy and laugh when tickled. For complex skills is playing hide and seek and driving tiny cars. Stereo knows. The face on Desmond on the left here. And then we get... This is not a scam. Reply with your whole address and recording your Squeak to prove your identity. Do not miss out. Not a scam. Trusty the rat. Yeah, we need 65 puzzles to open the next room. We have, if I go back to the main menu, how many do we have so far? 41. So we're still some ways off. Trusty Ratches. Let's do a couple more of our new items, like this chic bow tie. Okay, we got a smaller one. This is a 10 by 10, easier to work with. Rather than the smaller these are, the easier the numbers are to kind of work with. We're looking again for ones that are equal to more than half the volume. To start, this 8 is a great starting place because 8 and 8 gets us a bunch. The 6 gets these two. The 6 down here does the same. We also can do the off of these. We have a 4, like so. So these are in it. We have a 2, that doesn't give us anything. A 3, that's here. A 2. A 3, that's here. And then a 5. So we get those filled in. Taking a look at our information on our verticals that we just gained. 2 and 2. So that means this or this. Can't be this. Can't be here. 2 and 2. Can't be here. Can't be here. Clean up. What does that cleanup give us? Well, here's our 3 that's finished. Excellent. With that 3 finished, we've gained a little bit of info on the 5. Close here. What else can we take a look at? On our vertical, actually on this 4-3, we effectively have this solved. The reason being is where the 4 and the 3 have to be. If you take a look here, if this were our 4, the 3 wouldn't fit below. If this were our 4, we wouldn't have a gap for the 3. So the 4 has to use both of these. And because of this gap, the verticals are solved. We can close that one up. What does that solve give us? Well, we had a 3 over here. 3 can't fit here. That closes these, which gives us more information on the 8. Bonk. More information on this row. Has our 6. 6 must be here or here. These are off. What does these closing get us? Well, the bottom is a 2 and a 5. 2 and a 5 can't fit in the ones. That's clean. Also with the 5 gets these two here. Following that up, we can't learn anything from the 2, but we can learn from the 3, this point for the 4. We don't have anything new that we get on the 4 and the 4. The 1 could be here. It also could be here. We can't know that yet. So let's take a look at other things we do know. The 2 here is finished. We can close this. Closing this gets us this 3. And now we know these 2 are part of a 5. They're also closed down. Moving this way, we get our 5 and our 5. This can't be part of it. What else do we get on, like, looking at our horizontals? Well, this 6, we know, starting from here, it's one contiguous, so this piece is here. And then this is either 6, or this is 6, which is here, or this is 6. These aren't part of that. What else do we learn on horizontals? Nothing on this 4 and 3 at the moment. We can infer, if this were the 4, the 3 would have to be here. We could take this. On this, we know this is the 2. So yeah, we could close this off. That finishes a row. Because this is closed off, the 5 must be here. Can't be this. Must be these. Take a look at what that learns us. 5 closed. 6 closed. Also up here, we have 3, 4 closed. On the stuff we just closed up, the 2s are finished. We know this is a closed, so this must be 2. This is closed. This is a 2. Like, okay, that gets us more info on those. On this vertical as well, we can get some of the middle off because the 3s can only go so high. They can't reach here. On the horizontal, same. The 3 can only go so far, so these are closed. Closing this tells us where our 3 is up here, and closing that tells us where our 3 is up here, closed. The new piece of information from that gets us this 3 down here, close it, and now we've got a bunch of 3s on this side that are finished. We can keep moving from that position. This 5 comes from this wall, this 1 comes from here. Because we clean this, we have a 2 that closes here, that finishes the line. We have on this vertical here that we just finished up, there's only one spot left for a 3, so it fills in that. That also fills out this 1 and 5, so that's closed. On the far left, this closing up gives us the last 2 positions for this 2, finishing this middle row, and then the 5 against the wall must be here. This leaves us with the last few pieces we get to solve. We know that the 3 up here goes here. We know the 1 is on the right of the 2, so it's in this spot, not this spot. And, well, our last spot here. And now we get a chic bow tie. Ooh. I like the scarf a lot. That bow tie is really nice, though. Let's see if we can, when we get colors for that. Alright. Let's unlock the fridge. So, looking at our starting information, top row has our 8. We can clear that. That gives us anything on the top is going to be whatever that number is. So 1 and 1 are finished. 9, 3, 3, 6 are all there, and those are all finished numbers. From there, let's take a look at some of the horizontals that we just gained. We got a 4, and we have a 2 on the left. There's only one spot for it. Let's take it. We have a 4 here. We know that that's closed up. We don't know where the 1s are. On this one, we know that this could be, like, so we have 1, 1, 1, 2. If we take a look at this, the left one can't be a 2, so this is a 1. And you can see from what this just gave us, it can't be the third one because 2 1s can't fit on the left. So that means this is also a 1. And then we have 2 squares left here. Boom, we get those filled in. Same effect here. If we assume that this is part of the 4, like so, we can't fit 2 1s to the left of it. There's only this spot left for a 1. So this must be a single standalone 1. Similarly, we can assume it's the middle one because another one can't fit on the right. Which then tells us 1, 2, 3. That 3 gets us a vertical piece here with this 2. Close it off. On this row, if we assume the 1 is in this position here, the 7 is everything but the edges, so we can fill that. What else can we fill out? Oh, let's take a look at the side here. This 1 and 6. If we put the 1 here, we get 6, 6. So, like so. Which then gives us information on these horizontals. This 4 is finished. This 1 is finished. This 7 is finished. Remove that little dot. This is a mill-click dot. It's just a marker. RGB or Picross. Ooh. Taking a look at our verticals, we have this 6 here, meaning these must be part of it. That gives us every 1 here on the side and cleans up the entirety of the center. That's some great info to work with. Next, let's take the center. We haven't taken a look at this. We got 3 and 4. We can just go straight down like this. That gives us our 3 in center. And with only 2s remaining, we can just fill them. Fills that line. Also on the vertical, we know that this is going to be part of the 5. Finish there. And it's a 1 and a 1 above it. There's only 1 spot here. There's 2 here. We can't fill that yet. But this one finishes here. Is the 1. This one also must be the 1 because we can't put a 1 on this side. Filling that 1 here gives us the 6 bump. That also finishes this horizontal. And there's only 1 spot left for the 1 on this one. Also looking at the verticals, we only have 1 spot left for this 1 here. Finishing our 8. And that's almost all of our puzzle. All that's left is kind of identifying the last of the bits down here. This 251 I haven't touched, but this is one that was completable, like so. There's only 1 legal line for that. We have a 5 here, and a 5 can't be here. We know this left side is finished. We have a 1 and a 2 here. Here's our 1. Finish the 2. We have a 5 here. Last spot. And then there's 1 last crossing. And we get a fridge. Oh, look! Hold on, I gotta take a look at the fridge. It's got notes on it. Let's go ahead and place a fridge. House. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and place... I don't think I can zoom in any more than that. Alright. In addition to the color change you get from doing the bonus puzzle, you also get the ability to place more than one of them. There we go. Okay. Yeah. We got new mail. Rug only to move rugs, color variation, swap. Okay. Just get that our little buddy running around here. How tricky are things gonna get? I don't know where we end. If we go to main menu though, 650 puzzles in the catalog. And there's also multiple catalogs. So I'm gonna guess like, I would guess 25 by 25. There are some weird ones. For instance, if I do this table, this is an 8 by 8. It's a very strange one. Yeah, we know the 8, we know the 8, we know the 8, we know the 8. This 6 must be here, this 6 must be here. Yeah, here. We know this 6 must be here. But 8 by 8 is a very strange size. I think of them in multiples of 5. Our biggest one we have access to right now, if I go to second page over here, let's do a big fridge. 12 by 18. Okay. That's a weird layout. Well, 10, 11, 12. There's only one layout for that. 16, we have our bit here. Overlap is all but 2. Getting all of our left side like this gets us 1, 1, 1, 7, 2, 1, 1, 2, 8, 3. Yeah, once you get too big, it's just like it gets too small. So then, like, this gets us. We had to finish these off. So that's a bunch of space filled in. We also have this 8 and 6. Like so. And then like that. Because we of their overlap, which gets us some more on the left side. This 5, which clears a line. This 4. 9. 9 and 2 is a full anyway. Finished like that. Looks like it's the verticals that are a lot. Maybe they're actually doable. We'll come to those when we finally need to. 9 here is all but 1. In these, there's nothing bigger than 2, so these are actually clean. And because of the placement, we must know, like, it has to be, like, the middle 2, because there's not room for, like, 3 things above it. On this 1 and 7, on the top, we can get a couple. 7 here. 7 here. So these 4 gets us 1, 1, 2, 2. This part of the 4 clears that. That gets us the entirety of the 16. You know, finish that way. On the bottom, all these end in 1. So we're going to take this 1 and clearing that. This 2 and 2, there's only 5 spots left. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, there's a zoom. Oh! Zoom. So on some of the bigger ones, that way you're able to read the line you're focusing on if things are a little too awkward. Okay. I think there's also an undo. This here. This 9 vertical is just this 9. We have a 1 starting here that finishes there. This line is finished. Let's clean that. We know this is 1 followed by 2 in these, so we can go 2, 2, 2. Clear that. Finish that. This one has to... Actually, this here finishes on 6, so that's done there. What else do we have? Yeah, it's the verticals I know we can get some more out of, but I'm focusing on the horizontals. There's a 5 on this horizontal here, and the only spot it could fit would be right here. Cleans that. That means this is a 1 and a 2. The only spot left for a 4 here. Sorry, the 1's there. That isn't clean. The only spot for a 4 is right here. We don't know where the 1 is. We can't, like, close that. It's illegal. This vertical's finished. That's great. This vertical, we have a 2 at the top we can fill in. That gives us the 7. We have a 1 and a 1, clean. Next ones are 1 and a 1, clean. On this 4, there's only 2 spots left for the 1s, so we fill those. This 8 must use this one, then. So that's great. Also, with this 8, it can't use this here. Cleans that. And we get the rest of this 2. Here, we've got a 3 and a 5 remaining. We know that this must be the 3 and this must be the 5. So we can clean that, close the 5. What else do we have? Here, there's a missing 1. And this is the only spot left. That clears this out. And we know that this is where the last 1 on the top is. And these rows are now finished. Down here again, last spot for a 1. That finishes this 2. And that gives us again a last spot for a 1. So these are filled out. If we take a look at our horizontal here, we have this 9. And then we have this 3. Only thing that fits in this. The last pieces are some of the verticals we're finally going to have to do. Up here we have a 1, only 1 hole, and that gives us the start of the 4. Clear. And then we see that the 3, these are clean. So 3 here, 4 here. That gets us. Oh, that's the back of the fridge. Okay. That's why it's got the... Now we can have color fridge. 18 non-5s are awkward to work with. And alright, so we want red, blue, green. Blue is a colder color. You want to keep things cold in the fridge, so... Rats are wall huggers. Being out in the open makes them feel vulnerable, so they stay in corners. That's why everything's against the wall here. Oh. Sleepy. Let's go ahead and do... Let's get a lava lamp. Alright. Let's look at the bottom. We've got an 8. And then we got these numbers here. 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2. Like so. This 2 means we can't have any there. This 5 must be this 5, so we're closed. This is done. 9 and 2 can't use the 1, so we know the 8 finishes there. Great. We got the bottom to start. What else can we do? Looking at some of these horizontals, 6s give us a little bit of info. 6 and 1 fill in like so. Was the 6 or the 6. 9 vertical has some overlap. And that gives us some of these horizontals, starting with a 1, 2 we can't know, but the 3, like so. And the 1 again. We know the vertical here is all 1, so this can't have anything near it. That finishes off and gives us this 2. There's a 2 on this one, but it must be connected here. This is done. Great. Getting some of the horizontals so there's less space really helps out. Or verticals. This 3 is finished. And if you take a look, we have a 1, a 2, and a 5. If we did the 1 and 2 up here minimum, the 5 has to go to the bottom, and there's only 5 slots. So that's where the 5 lives. That finishes out our bottom row, which is this 1. What else do we have on this? We know that this 6 right here is either 6 or 6. So this is part of it, and this can't be part of it. We also see this left side is just a 1. Clear it. That gives us a lot of info. This finishes, that's great. This 1 and 2, the 1 has to be over here and the 2's over here, so this isn't legal. On our vertical then, we have our 9 and our 9, so we've gained 2 more pieces of information. These 1s are closed from that new bit. If we start looking on our horizontals, nope, nope, nope. This 1 and 3 we actually can learn, because this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Same with the next row, like so. 1 and 1 we can't. This is finished right here because 1, 1, 2, 3. And then the same with this 6 and 1 here, because this has to be 6, plonk, 1. So that's closed. Now we probably want to start focusing on the verticals. I haven't been looking at the verticals much. Play this yourself? Yeah. So let's take a look at our left. Let's just go left to right. So we've got a 4. Here's 3 of it. That means all of this is illegal space. This is the rest of the 4. This has a 4 at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's filled. So that gives us our 1. And we know that there's a 2 in here somewhere. This 6 all of a sudden got an extra piece of info, meaning this isn't part of the 6, which then solves the 9 for us up here. The 9 has this 1. We close here. And then looking at our vertical here, we have a 1 above and a 1 below on this. We know this is the 1, and we know this one isn't. This here gave us our 4. We can close. And then we can use the top numbers, 1, 2, 2. Finish that. And then we're finished with this row, column as well. Following up from that, the fact that the 4 on the left cleared out means that this 1 and 3 here must fill in like so. Close that. We also get some of our verticals as well from that. This vertical here is complete. Same with this one here. 1, 2, 5, 1. You can turn off this autocomplete. That's an option I have. You can make it so you have to, like, ding the number yourself to, like, list it as cleared. I like this where it clears out the ones we know that are closed. Speaking of know we are closed, this is just 9 spaces. What else do we know? 1 and 2 down here. Closed. Missing 1. That gets that. That gets our 6. 6 finishes that. 6 gets our 4. 4 finishes that. That's done here. Then all that's left is this 2. And it's a lava lamp. Is that a new set of oh, yeah, new stickers. What do we get? Yeah. New stickers. I love all the Pride stickers. Those are awesome. The tape measure is one of my favorite things this game has. Oh my god, that's so many things. But yeah, it's fun because the way that this works, if you want the house bit, you can just do the Picrosses for, you know, the things you want to unlock for the house. Oh my god. Oh no. $13. That fills here. Let's look at this vertical. We've got 2, nothing, nothing. 4 to here. 5 to here, 4 to here, to here, to here, 5 again to here, 7, 1, like that. That gives us this 9 and this 2. And the 1 has to be here. And then from that following up, the 7 can't use these. 2, 3. 3 could be this. That fills it at 8. This 8 must either be this or this, which means these are all illegal squares. This is a 2. Close that. This is a 1. Close that. This 13 must use this. What else can we do? 7 can't use these. How much big is this? That's an 8, so we can fill that. Which then goes 4, 5, 4, 4, 4, 5. Cleaned up. That 2 is finished. We know that that's a 3 on the end, so that must be this 3. That finishes off these right 2. One thing I like myself, and I can see that this could be a positive or negative, is if I'm doing this, like if I want to quick clear this, if I just hold right-click, go down, does all that, that's great. But it also won't go into other lines. So that way I can just do this. It won't accidentally clear a line that I'm not trying to clear. This is a 3, we finished that. This must be the 2, this must be the 1. Close this up. 8 and the 1 is done. We know that this starts with a 3, so we can bop, get the 3. 5 and 1 is finished. This 3 can't fit in this 1. That closes here. And then this 7 is finished. What else can we do? The 13 finishes there. And now the rest of the puzzle is a bunch of 1s. Down here we've got 3s. Like this. And there's only, like this are the only way that the 1s could fit. That finishes our bottom row. Finishes this as well. We know that there's a 4 included in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4. This finishes, and this is a 2. This is a 2. Finishes that. This needs a 2. Finishes that. These are clear. These are 2. The other Picross I had a really fun time playing was Chimera Puzzle Island. That one had a rockin' fun soundtrack and a lot of fun friends that you got to meet while you're doing Picrosses. That you got to change your X's and O's and stuff. Abyss. So there are a number of settings in here about completion. I wonder if that is part of the completion bit. That's a good question. Because I've got the different lines one. I think it does make you fill in the... Nope, here it is. Autocross completed. No, there's a lot of options in here for, like, oh, I want it to just, you know, hey, completed a line, just get it, rid. Or, you know, bits like that. Ooh, auto count is kind of nice. I'm gonna turn on autocross and auto count to see what those look like. Because you bring up good points. Let's get the partition. That's a 10 by... Ah, dark mode. Ooh. So you're not blinding yourself at night when you're playing this. 1, 3. I filled in the auto ones that are 10s and 15s. You can auto have those. There's a 1. These are 1s. This is 3. 1s. 2. 1. 5. So that now that auto crosses. That'll happen here with this when I do this. Those will clean. Can we get Dark Cone of Shame? Ooh, maybe. Looks like these are both 3s. Uh, 1 and 2. And that cleared that. And yeah, so now you can see with the auto crosses, it just, all of a sudden, a lot of these solve much quicker. And so, let's get Dark Cone of Shame. Actually, I don't think we can. I don't think the catalog is open big enough to get Dark Cone of Shame. Yeah. You have to complete the page in full to get the, So I would have to complete the whole page to get the backside. The ones that aren't by 5s are really funky to me. Alright. Let's do one more. And then coming up against where I wanted to stop for the night anyway, so. 15, 15, 10, 10, 10. We've got 9. We've got 9. What else we have? 1s. We've got the 6 from this. 1. 1. 5 from this. 1. 1. This must be a 1. 6 from this. Verticals give us 5. 3. 1, 1, 2. Can't know that one yet. 1 on this horizontal. We know our 1s. We know our 1s. We have an 11 over here. So these, but we don't know about these two, which one it is. This one is active. This one is active. This 4 closes that out. And this must be these for 7. 4, 2, 1, vertical there. 4, 2, 1, vertical there. This 1, this 2, this 1, this fills here. That finishes our bottom row. And with the bottom row finished, everything just kind of falls from this. 4, 3, 1. A lot of square, oh my god. A lot of square items. All right, now we got our microwave in color. All right. Anyway, that's our look at Squeakross. How big of red flags can we make? Yeah. Anyway, wanted to show this off. Thought it would be a fun time if you're a Picross liker. This is just a one-off. I started playing this yesterday. I was like, you know, I'll just do some of this tomorrow. Well, I have stream time, so. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Hope you had fun with this. Hope you enjoyed the draft before. If you want to catch more, you can always follow, see when I go live, subscribe, and get access to cool skulls and slimes. Thank you, Dust Home, for the sub earlier. Thank you for Salad Kung Fu for the bits as well. Appreciate all of that. Appreciate everybody who followed from Ty's stream yesterday as well. Tomorrow, more Trails in the Sky, and then fantasy drafting on Tuesday. So, yeah, thank you all for joining. That's going to be it for today. So, have a good night. Hey, everybody.